Hi! Since I have everything, or at least the air compressor off, might as well chit-chat about this topic. I'll keep it straightforward. So, the other day, a very well-respected in my book gentleman that does interviews had somebody on. This person, quote unquote, I guess, let's call them what they are, influencer in the community. He was asked a question and then went on to say, well, I've had plenty of companies just send stuff to me and giving them advice and all this other stuff, and they do good by sending me more stuff to help them out and make things better, and they would overlook a lot of things if I didn't point these things out to them. Okay. That's pretty brazen comment to say that, and to say further on without that person that company wouldn't be doing as well. It's very funny considering that a lot of these companies have been around for a long time, and well before you started accepting bribes to get likes and comments and stuff. But it's just that I see this happening a lot, and if you don't pay to play, then you get ostracized, and people can comment on your work whether they actually like it or not, and they can really not that anyone's reviewing any of my trash, but they can just kind of cancel culture you into a corner if they want, if they don't like you as a person or agree with what you have to say. Then they can they could ultimately just get your product in and say how much it sucks and all the reasons why it sucks and how they're not qualified to even comment on any of that stuff, considering coming from either used cars or whatever, wherever you guys come from, and then somehow gaining vast years of knowledge of manufacturing and GD&T, which is tolerancing, and design aesthetic, and somehow acquired degrees in engineering and industrial design to have any sort of valid point that is based on fact of any nature. So that's where I'm standing. The reason I have some of that is because I actually make the stuff. And then to have people design things that they personally feel that other people would like, that's what design and art is. It's people's expression of a thing that they feel like people would like and interpret. But then there's always this thing of like, how this could be better? I don't want to hear that. I want to hear your thoughts on how you like that thing, what you like and don't like. That's what I want to hear, not what they could do to make it better. Yes, that's a critique, but usually when you're being critiqued amongst peers, all of the peers do that thing. So if you're at an art critique, a lot of the people that are critiquing are artists. They've been in the industry for years. So taking apart knives and flicking them once in a while and maybe cutting some stuff with it doesn't really, in my opinion, it doesn't really qualify you to even speak on a lot of the design elements. Things that might be comfortable or discomfortable or show discomfort to you, maybe, but all the other things, probably not so much. like moving certain things and all that. Because when anybody that really designs anything and then they send it out to get made, they're going to get pushback to some degree, and things are going to get changed. So the design will be changed to suit either manufacturing or just the fact that you can't have a 0 degree radius in a pocket. It's just not, possible. So things like that. And it's just really, it's picked up a lot. A lot of these critics come in and, what their word is the word of the people, which it's not, because they're always basing everything, I'm doing this for the community, I'm doing this for you guys, and I'm doing this for this. They're not. They're doing that for their paycheck, because they no longer have a 9-to-5 job, so this is their, formal income. So they'll tell a fib to get you, clicks, likes, comments, all these things that drive traffic to their page to then get the ad revenue to then make money. That's how all of this stuff works. So they need to have, flashy and catchy titles to their videos. They need to have controversial stuff to get all the clicks and likes and views and stuff like that. And I hope that this kind of helps them with their business too. Like this video, I really hope they say something, because really they should be defending the fact that they're influencers. That's what these people do. They're influencers. They're there getting a product. And recently a few of these influencers have made it a point to say, sorry, my chair is squeaky. They've been making it a point to say that, yes, this, XYZ company has sent me this thing and here's my review on it. And usually that keeps them in check. It's very nice, comforting feeling when there's a clear, visible thing that, yes, this company has sent this to me, here is my review of it, sort of thing. Or really it should be an unbiased opinion, because a lot of these guys don't even review anything anymore. It's just, frankly, just bashing it because they can. Let's get back to the point. The point being that these guys are influencers, okay? They're influencing the community to where they spend their money. They say, I don't fall for any of that influencer stuff and blah, 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 blah. That's a lie, because a lot of you guys have bought the latest, whatever steel has come out. You've bought the latest steel that's come out. You've bought the latest design that's been designed by XYZ company. Boutique brands is, I guess, what they're being referred to as now. You've bought into all that stuff. You've spent money on that stuff. That's a sort of influencing, a sort of way of advertising that people are tricked into, I'm sorry to say. And I can speak to that because I actually have a degree in marketing. So that's how people are tricked into buying things, is that there is this new wave of advertising with the influencers and all this other stuff. Doesn't cost the company hardly any money as far as an advertising budget. They just send the product. And then they say, hey, you send this product, good reviews, and then also maybe there's a cut at the end or whatever. I don't know what the deals are. There could be a cut, there could not be a cut. I don't know. I don't want to, blatantly state that, oh yeah, they're basically buying them out, and Big Knife is getting into it and ruining everyone's lives. That's not what I want to say. Excuse me. But the fact is A, they don't review anything. B, they're really not much of a critic at all. Because usually when critics criticize things, they are jealous because they can't do that thing. Usually it happens a lot with movies, it happens a lot with books, TV, stuff like that. I've been in that world, I've written for newspapers. It's all jealousy. And then comes down to what they really are is they're influencing you, the consumer, to purchase these things. Because if I'm not mistaken, there's a guy you may have not heard of that called out a company for kind of being shady in their practices and stating that things were made in the United States when in fact they were made in China. There's a guy that, I don't know, there's a whole thing and blah, blah, blah. And then everyone else started to jump on the bandwagon. And then there was a video of this influencer, or an influencer, that was like, basically, United States manufacturing needs to step things up, send me free shit. Sorta, is what the gist of the thing was. And again, not attacking the guy, I'm just stating facts. That video is a fact that's out in the world. American flag in the background, whole 9 yards, but then the next week or whatever, there's a overseas OEM knife on the table. That's my point. My point being is like, none of that they care about. If they actually did care about it, then they would only review one thing. The fact is that they have to make money on this stuff. It's their job now. This is their job. They're going to say whatever they need to say to keep people coming in, keep those clicks going, keep those likes going, affiliate links, blah, blah, blah. They're not doing you any favors, is my point. The smaller channels do you guys the favor. The word of mouth advertising is really the best advertising. And people are more apt to trust their friends, family, and coworkers. So when you have a guy that is, spouting off about a knife or a product, if you will, and they're doing it in a genuinely funny character, or they're just, I'm super honest, I'm not biased at all attitude, and it's just like, I'm doing this for you guys, those are all ruses and tactics to get you to take your eyeballs and slap them on the screen for as long as possible. Again, ad revenue. But as far as the information, really, all you need to know, really, is from the people around you. Is it comfortable? What size is it? What is the, depth? How far does it stick out of my pocket? Is it legal in my area? Really, that's all you need to know. You don't really need to know what kind of steel it is, because most of the steels out there currently are super steel run. Unless you're into that nerdy steel stuff, then you don't really need to know. If you'd like to know, then yeah. Okay, it's made out of, M390, since that's prevalent everywhere. It's made out of, the latest and greatest, best steel that's been influenced, or whatever. I don't know. My point being is, like, you really only need to know like 5 things about that product to really get you to make a decision. But a lot of these videos are 20 minutes, 30 minutes, all that stuff. And now I'm really not condemning the live sessions. Like, I think that's cool. I think that builds discussion. I think that is a thing that should be done, but it shouldn't be based around an advertisement, which is a lot of the times what it is. And yes, I understand that a lot of people are trying to live the American dream, and they're trying to just design stuff to get it out in the world and to build their business and to just live the American dream. Sorry, I understand that. But just go out and do it. Like, you can make stuff. It's not that hard. And that's the new thing too, is like a lot of people will say, I'm just a designer. I'm not a maker. I don't make anything. I'm never gonna call myself a maker. I'm just a designer. If you're just a designer, then also don't talk about anything that has to do with making stuff. Like, don't talk about tolerances, don't talk about any of that stuff. Unless you're an engineer, because that's what engineers talk about. A lot of these guys that design knives for companies a lot of them are engineers. They're product engineers. So, just stating facts. So if you're gonna take that passive aggressive route, then just don't say anything at all. Like, don't even call yourself a designer. Kind of right. But yeah, it's just, I notice it's a prevalent thing. Again, more power to all you influencer guys. Go ahead. But there are a few guys that I really would like to shout out that are genuinely honest about things. You know, Knife Junkie, super awesome guy. I like the fact that we get all these interviews of all these different takes and stuff like that. I love that. Super genuine guy. Knife Nerdery. If you really want an in-depth review on knives with a very, all of his opinions are his own, but then also he brings in like actual like science and physics and stuff into it. So definitely check him out. I mean, there's a ton of them. There's guys that actually just review high-end stuff. Like, that's cool too. But man, this same overly processed stuff just comes across people's tables and blah 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 blah. Click the link, do the thing, blah blah blah, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Stop. I understand that like this makes you money and you got to do it this way, but seriously, stop. Just go get a job at a knife company. Like, just go work for one of the affiliates that you have a link to. Just go do stuff for them. I don't know, sweep floors or something. Do something. But it's like, holy cows, just reel it in a little bit. And then like the fact that you've opened like 100 knives and then all of a sudden you just design one out of thin air. I mean, there's a few people that again, no hate, okay? No hate. But man, guys, like, I understand you don't want to do YouTube stuff the rest of your life, but like, then go work for a knife company. There are companies right now that are probably dying for designers. I'm sure Buck would love to hire one of you guys because, man, the stuff that they come out with is not great. It's not great. I'm sorry, Buck. It's not. Gerber, same thing. I'm sure if you just refresh your resume, how many designs you guys got? You got like 4 or 5 designs. I'm talking about all the influencers as a whole, like, 5, 6, 7 designs. All of you get together, get that resume going, send it out to those guys. Start designing here. I understand you want your stuff, your business, your brand. I get that. Come on. If you really want to help out the community, then go design for those companies that people want to buy from here. Like Buck. I know, GEC, I don't know. Get a modern slip joint going. Gerber, come on. Just start flooding Benchmade with designs. ZT, start flooding them with designs. Since everyone complains about those guys every year about stuff, then you go do it. You go design stuff for them. Come on. My point is I'm giving you options, okay? I'm giving you options other than just like constantly just going through this thing, and then if you find a maker that you don't like that is outspoken or whatever, you just trash their product. So you kind of do. You all do it. You've done it to several people so far. Yeah. And again, I hope I did a good job of not calling people out because that was not my intention. I'm just saying in general as a whole, reviewer now means influencer. If you are having, just products churning out every day or every week, you're an influencer at that point. You're not a reviewer, you're an influencer. Your same thing is like it's on TikTok, it's on Instagram Reels, it's on whatever Facebook has, I don't know. And now it's on YouTube. You guys are influencers. That's it. I'm sorry. It's no longer a regard or higher regard anymore to be called a reviewer, because you don't anymore. You don't review things anymore. Once you hit a certain point or a certain number of people that follow you or a certain peak, you transition and you plateau into an influencer. And now you're just looped in with everyone else that just influences stuff. And that's what you're going to do. You're just going to influence now. So I beseech you to be honest about this kind of stuff, because it is frustrating as somebody that makes stuff, and it is frustrating all my maker friends that make stuff. And we also ask you not to review our stuff. At least don't review my stuff. I don't want you to review my stuff, because it's not a review. You're influencing at that point. I don't need any more influence. I got enough. I have enough people that know my product is good, that pass the word on, and we just can't make them fast enough. So, with that said, I didn't want to bash anyone. I don't want to call anyone out. This is not the intention of this video. Again, these are all my own opinions, of my own opinions. They always will be of my opinions. Of course, I'm going to turn commenting off because I don't care what you have to say. So, that's that. I just want you to watch and just retain all this information into your brain. And then if you want to make a retort, go ahead. But I don't need to turn comments on. I'm tired of people telling me what to do. So, with that said, just know now, from now on, everyone's going to refer to you as an influencer of the knife community. And that's what you're going to be now. And if you want to design stuff, go ahead and design stuff. And then that will be a separate business from your influencing business. That'll be your design business. But really, what the community really needs is you to design for actual companies that are here. That would be cool. That would be profitable. That would be a step helping the community out. But here we are. So, have a good day. Stay hydrated. See you later.